Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show coming up. You hear us talk about the Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge, so we talked to Sarah Vedrine to explain how it works and the final results from the 2024 season. Jeff has little-known facts on the Pontiac Grand Prix.
Oh, yeah.
And Mr. Mars reviews the new Subaru Outback. Just ahead on this segment of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. David Ainsley will be joining us hopefully at the bottom of the hour. We'll see.
Oh, so he's out of county. He got out of the county? No, just messing around.
Out of the county?
County jail.
County jail.
You got to keep up. This is Jeff. He moves pretty quick.
I know, and sometimes I can't keep up. I try.
Inmate of the week.
Yeah. All right. Let's move it along, shall we? The Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge. Sarah Vedrine kind of keeps the books and keeps everybody aligned, and she's joining us now via YouTube. Sarah, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good, man. It's great to see you again, and we hope to figure out for our people that are just now joining us for the first time, what is the Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge?
So we are a club versus club bracket racing organization. I've actually brought my vice president with me this time. This is Scott.
Scott,
I know
good
you
to
guys
see you.
probably got tired of talking to just me, so I finally brought you somebody else.
Okay, good. Well, does he know what you know?
I know everything. I hope so.
He doesn't know anything. He's been beat down just like the rest of us men.
Yeah.
But so explain, either one of you. You decide who wants to explain.
Sorry, guys, we don't have a really bad connection.
Explain what the Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge is.
You know what? I think I'm going to have to call in on you guys. I'm having trouble hearing you.
Okay, well, yeah. You call us back, okay? All right.
Now I got you. There you are. Okay.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
There we go.
All right, good.
I should have brought my Zoom card bingo.
Yes, you should have. That. So this is a drag racing event. You guys drag race a quarter mile or eighth mile?
We actually do both. Mainly eighth mile, but we do have a couple quarter mile tracks here and there.
Okay. And Mr. Mars, I'm going to ask that both of you guys, because Mr. Mars is the receiver on this, that we reestablish contact with you because the audio's in and out, okay? So stand by. Mars is going to get back in touch with you here in just a second. Good.
Talk amongst yourselves at home.
Yeah. In the meantime and in between time, while he's doing that, I had a story I wanted to share with you. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering why we're not at the car social down at Gulf Coast Auto Shield today, we postponed it because of the weather. Mm-hmm. People don't like to drive the car in the rain. And so it's been postponed until Saturday, January 11th. Same time, the actual car social will be 9 to noon. We will be there and on the air from 10 to noon. That's January the 11th. So write that down. Come see us and come see us and save.
Come see us and save. There you go. I don't like the cold weather. You can have it.
No, I know. I'm not a big fan, but it's better than the 110 degree heat that we went through this summer. Edmunds says it usually keeps new vehicles for at least a year and 20,000 miles. But it made an exception for the Fisker Ocean, a vehicle that one staffer said, quote, made me so frustrated, I was about ready to drive it into the ocean.
Oh.
End quote. So 11 months after buying the crossover for $69,012, the site traded it in with just 7,000 miles on the odometer for a measly $13,500, an 80% loss. One factor in the decision to sell was Fisker's June bankruptcy filing, which has made it tougher for owners to get service for the frequent problems that arise. Quote, it's time to jump ship, according to editors Brian Wong and Stephen Ewing. But they both wrote that on November 29th. Bye-bye. Fisker Ocean.
Wow.
I saw one.
Many, many years ago, I saw one. Many years ago.
An Ocean?
Yeah. Fisker, yeah.
Yeah. it clearly
Well,
did.
the Fisker, I don't know if it was an Ocean or not, but it was the Fisker.
Yeah. Well, I think I saw one over at John's place. It might have been something different.
Yeah,
but
you know what? You're right.
I think
so.
he had one over there.
Yep.
And I'm sorry for the person that actually bought it because
Maybe they're going to camo it so nobody notice.
notice what it is and then try to pawn it off
There you
as
go, for $11,000.
for an AMC Pacer.
Oh, I'd drive that Pacer. I would.
Well, today you would, but back in the day, Anita Martini had one of those. Do you remember her?
Yeah.
She was a sportscaster here in town. Actually, was the first female allowed in a locker room, and she had to fight to get that fixed.
Yeah.
So anyway, she's been gone for quite a number of years, but I quote her many times. All right. That's my Anita Martini impression.
And you do that well.
All right. So anyway, I told you about the car social, postponed. What do you think, Mr. Morris?
I think we got him.
I think we got, well,
We got him. Well, got
shoot,
some audio
I
going
hit the
on.
wrong button.
Oh, gee whiz.
Now, try that one.
Okay. Sarah, you with us?
Oh,
No. Oh, wait, she's muted. You muted. We got you muted on your end.
Muted on your end. Well, this has turned into a kind of a fiasco.
There we go.
oh,
There you go.
you're back.
All right.
All right, I'm using my cell phone, so I apologize
Oh,
for poor
very
quality
good.
on the camera.
Well, that's it. That's the problem. So go back in the house. Oh, no, never mind.
Oh, she's going to her board meeting.
So who won the? First of all, how many classes or divisions, however you bust it up, how many classes of cars do you have that race in the Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge?
So we've got actually 8 classes now, from all the way from grocery gritter, daily driver to full-blown electronic fast race cars.
Nice.
We've got club series kind of broken up as to how many cars they bring per race. So we have a kind of like how high school football, your 5As, 4As, 3As. And this year, our overall championship for points, we actually had a tie. So Chuck Coates and Chad Boren have won the overall for the year. And there are 2 completely different classes and completely different cars. We've got Chuck and he runs Pro Muscle, which is the one step below the fastest race cars. And then Chad Boren, who's racing our slowest class, our stock muscle, in a Chevy Volt.
Nice.
A Chevy Volt. Okay.
Chevy Volt.
So you didn't have any AMC Pacers out there?
I don't think we do.
No.
I don't think we've got any AMCs.
Dang. We need to have.
Should be its own
Mars,
class. Should
it's the new in-wheel time fast car on the drag strip. AMC Pacer. Let's go out and buy one. And we'll take it on the Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge. And you,
I will gladly have you on our team. Come on.
Well, make sure it's got a rear window defogger so that when you're pushing it, you can keep your hands warm.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
I like it. Yeah. So, how many races do you have a year?
Normally, we try to get in at least 10. This year, the rain got us. We only got 9.
Uh-oh.
Next season, Mr. Scott over here is trying to get us 12.
12.
I like the number 12. That's an easy dozen. And,
Yep.
if you really wanted to do a baker's dozen, 13 would be that. So,
Well, 12 to 13 will work for me.
okay.
That way, if we have a rain out, we don't have to deal with rescheduling during summertime when people are trying to go on vacation and stuff like that.
Well, the 13th would be the rain out redo.
Yeah.
So who obviously, how do you organize to get another race event, and then how do you get other clubs to join?
Basically, it works like this. We'll give them a call, let them know what dates we are looking for. Like, for instance, our organization likes to run between March 1st and June 30th for the spring, and between September 1st and the end of October for the fall. We don't like to run in the summertime. It's just too hot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Tracks get greasy, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
You can just go on from there. So we'll give them those dates in between those times and see what we can come up with. We typically like to run on Sundays, but we will run on Saturday evenings if it's a long drive. For instance, let's say we're going out to San Angelo. For me, that's a 4-hour drive, so it's better for most people to schedule those kinds of races on a Saturday evening, race until midnight or so, and then we can go home the next day and get home in a reasonable hour for those people that have to go to work.
So how do you get other clubs to join?
Are these drag racing clubs?
Yes.
That is so weird to me because, this is the first time, and I know, make fun of me if you will, first time that I've ever heard of drag racing clubs.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, obviously you guys have been doing this for a while, so it's not something brand new.
Yeah, because
the organization has been around for 40 years, so it's like you said, it's not brand new. A lot of clubs will do both. They'll do racing and they'll do shows. And what we're trying to do is bring in other people, other clubs. Even if we go, let's say we go to Abilene and we race there. Excuse me. There are clubs that are there that specifically only race at that track, which is fine. They won't obviously win a club championship if they're only going to attend one event.
Yeah, it's just bragging rights.
Well, yeah, exactly. Bragging rights is exactly it. And racing. I mean, I don't care if you're lining up against Jesus Christ. You're there to win, period.
What would he be driving?
But I don't know.
A Cadillac.
A holy roller.
He's laughing in heaven right now going, that's a good one there. I got that.
got that.
That's
I like
funny.
it.
I don't care who you are.
I don't care who you are.
He's going to come down and run you over his pacer.
That's
Years
right.
ago, I lined up in the big dog race, which is our finale. It's all the winners against all the winners from the year. I race in pro. I lined up the luck of the draw against my wife, who was running stock.
No, it was meant to be. You just got to go with that. There's no luck to it.
So you got beat by a girl.
But it's
Crap out of you too.
no, I beat her. But it's
First.
It's one of those things where everybody said, "Well, I guess you're gonna let her win," and I said, "Hell no! You line up on that line. I don't care who you are. You're gonna lose. Period." So
It's a brave man.
He's a brave man.
So how long?
He's the kind of guy you want to party with.
How long have you been divorced?
good one.
And I will say this. So you got this group of people that go to the drag strip every Saturday night that live local there in Abilene or wherever it is. And then you've got the Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge bunch that come in and race with you. You got it made. That's the best of both worlds.
It's like Hollywood coming in.
Yeah.
Exactly. One of the things we try to do is when we schedule for a Sunday, we'll try to piggyback on the racers that are there for Saturday evening, and some of them stay and actually join us the next day. So you're right. We are living the best of both worlds in a lot of sense. What we're trying to do and what I'm going to try to do going forward as president next year is bring in some of these younger people that are racing other cars. other types
JDM
of
stuff.
cars. Exactly.
Yeah.
Even EVs, if it comes down to it, because that's what kids are racing these days.
Racing's
maybe not
racing.
something I would. Well, I mean, it's maybe not something I would do,
Right.
but they're doing it. More power to them. Have fun. Come join us. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you guys come to Houston?
We can.
We can. Well, I mean,
one of those things-
it's an eighth mile track up at Houston Motorsports Park. That's the only one that's left around here, I think, these days. I mean, there are some other tracks, but you would know more than I would. But I know that they have a large contingency of JDM vehicles. And matter of fact, a guy that I just recently befriended, he is into the whole JDM thing. And let me tell you something, 1,500 horsepower out of a four-banger is nothing to laugh about.
Right.
And they are very serious about what they do. He's young. He's in his 20s. And that's, matter of fact, one of the guys that he works for, that's what they do. They hop up four-cylinder engines, JDM stuff, and they put them out there. And, man, I'm telling you, I've seen the race on video. I'm going, wow, that's some serious stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I remember back in the day, when a friend and I were talking about it a couple of weeks ago, we were happy to get 250 horsepower out of our 289.
Yes.
Now I'm driving a 2024 Jeep Wagoneer with a 3-liter 6-cylinder twin turbo that's putting out 550 horsepower out of the box.
Yeah.
You
From
know,
the factory.
I mean,
You didn't have to do anything.
Right. I didn't have to do anything. Yet on my race car, I'm spending tens of thousands of dollars to put out 700 horsepower. I mean, it's just crazy.
Well, it sounds like a ton of fun. You know, it's funny you should mention the club thing, and you said, yeah, well, we've got clubs that do this, but it's part of the overall club experience. And back in the day, now this is way back when, I was a member of the San Jacinto Corvette Club. Well, within the club, they had the drag racers and they had the show car people. Okay? We were the show car people, and the other club members, some of them, were into the drag racing. And let me tell you something. They talk about spending some major change. Whoo-wee, they did. All suspension changes and all of this stuff to go drag racing. And we went our own separate way with the show car thing. But come to think of it now that you've mentioned it, I would imagine that there are a lot of clubs like that.
There are. The club that we have, Sarah and I are part of, RRMC. Back in the day when we first started, we were half show and half race. I left that club when it was both to form another the club we have now. But back, like I said, back in the day, and this is 12, 15 years ago, it was both. The club I have now, RRMC, is strictly race. That's all we do. And by the way, we won the overall championship in TMCCC for 2024.
No thanks to me.
Congratulations.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, a lot of clubs do both, and it's a lot of fun doing both. But you know, like I've told my wife, I will race until they put me in the ground.
Well, I'll say this, that if you've got the show car side and you got the race side, man, that is trying to herd cats. You've got, I mean, that is a lot of work, because basically you have two events in one. One of them's on the racetrack and the other one's in the parking lot doing their show thing. Yep. Tons of fun, and you're all buddied up together and having good times and all. But here the race car guys, they make a run and they go out there, tune this and tune that and change the pressure here and do this and do that, while we were sitting back drinking beers underneath the tent.
Right. Well, the car guys, you know, the car show guys are worried about Junior with his sticky fingerprints, while the race car guys could care less about that and are more about, you know, making sure the car's ready for the next run. Yeah. So you're absolutely right. It's like herding cats.
Well, yeah. But it's still a ton of fun, and you got your friends that you know you cheer for on the racetrack, and they come and cheer for you and make sure that you're making a good show out there in the parking lot. Well, listen, it's great to talk to you guys. We really appreciate buddying up with you, and hopefully we're going to continue this in 2025.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, we look forward to seeing you. Hey, as soon as you get the schedule set for next year, you be sure and send it to us, and we'll get it on the air.
I'm sorry, repeat that again?
Yeah. As soon as you get the schedule in place for next year, send it to us, and we'll get it on the air.
Absolutely. I'm working on it now. I've got 5 set for sure. I'm hoping to get 7 more.
Both of you all, thank you very much. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Be safe out there.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 on the In-Wheel Time and Odyssey radio apps. Just search for In-Wheel Time Car Talk, and podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com, 10 to noon every Saturday Central Time. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
I'm sorry. I was.
He was telling Mike how much he loved him, and that he wishes him well, and all that good stuff.
So this is the show that Mike prepares for me, so I know what's coming up, right? Well, it's got these big spaces in between all this stuff, and it wastes all my paper. And he just explained to me that it's probably one of my settings. Well, of course it's my fault. I've lived with that all of my married life.
This is the only place I can say it's somebody else's fault.
Exactly.
So I'm an only child, and my parents here have abandoned me.
So it's time now to move on. And Jeff has a feature on facts you may not know about the Pontiac Grand Prix.
That's right. 4 facts. The auto industry's longest-running nameplates like CJ7, CJ5 likely come to mind. But the Chevy Suburban has had 12 generations of a run. The Pontiac Grand Prix badge has been around for 47 years. Its introduction in 1962. The Grand Prix's name was borrowed from the French term that's commonly used in the international races on Formula One circuit as the Big Prize.
That is a beautiful car that I would love to have.
It was originally called the Ventura in 1962. It was a big year for Pontiac. They sold over 500,000 vehicles, 521,000 vehicles that year. Best second ever to 1955. The 75 millionth Pontiac rolled off the line in the spring, and it was a Bonneville convertible. The Le Mans, which evolved from the GTO in 64, made its first appearance as the Grand Prix. So moving on, there were 8 generations of the Grand Prix. The 1964 model year marked the end of the model's first generation. The original engine choices carried over to the second generation. In 1969, the Grand Prix moved from a mid-sized G-body platform. It shared with Chevy Monte Carlo, Malibu, Buick Regal, of course, Century, and the Oldsmobile Cutlass. In 1997 through 2004, the supercharged 3.8-liter V8 could produce 260 horsepower. Wow. And a 5.3 liter V8 generated 303 horsepower at 323 foot-pounds of torque. So moving on to that. The next fact that you didn't know was the Grand Prix convertible was only made in 1967. I like that car.
I do too. I like that one.
The Grand Prix was available as a coupe from its birth in 2002. The anomaly was in 67. The only time the convertible version of the Grand Prix was produced, despite its gorgeous sweeping lines and vast open-air cruising deck. The Grand Prix convertible was not common. It was not a hot commodity. People didn't like it, like just Don said. They produced 5,800 of these convertibles. You may think it a rarity based on the original price of $3,800 for that car back then.
That's a lot.
Today, it's about $36,000. You really can't find any more because nobody wants them, and they're kind of just going away. The last one that actually got some money was the Hearst edition. It was a 455 cubic inch for $100,000. But that was a classic. It was all redone and refurbished and looked pretty. The last one we have a fact that NASCAR had the Pontiac. It was a repeat NASCAR champion. The Grand Prix was popular as a mass market vehicle, but it also had success on the racetrack. NASCAR champions who had driven the Grand Prix stock cars included Dale Earnhardt, Rusty Wallace, Bobby Labonte, Tony Stewart, and Richard Petty. So during that time, the championship years, Earnhardt's Grand Prix ride came in '81, and he is the and he was 29 and defending the series champion when he drove that car back then. So there you go. Just 4 facts about it. and like the Pontiac,
I will tell you, I have an idea for General Motors. And that was, the fact that if they're going to do NASCAR without a brand, the Chevy Camaro anymore, pick up the Pontiac. Just put Pontiac on the back of it. They don't make it. Well, they don't make this car that they're going to race, so just put Pontiac. Put Grand Prix on it.
Just get another car. We got a few in mind.
There's a few Chevrolets out there. I mean, there's some.
Yep.
Well, they don't make the Malibu anymore.
No.
What Chevy would that be? They don't make the Camaro.
What's wrong with the Corvette?
They're going to put a Corvette on NASCAR?
Why not?
You'd have to restyle it, make it.
It's fiberglass.
No, it's not. It's
Size,
plastic.
weight, and all that.
Plastic, fiberglass, same thing.
I think there's some other engineering specs on that. I saw a show called Trans Am. It's been out for a while. They're watching a rerun.
You can't say that on the radio.
What, Trans Am? Oh, okay. Well, it was about a car that they did some work to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's been on for years ago. But they remodeled the new Firebirds to look modern, like a Camaro. Have you ever seen those?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they had a customer come in with a Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser. Said, just fix it up. Don't make anything fancy about it. Frame off restoration. They went overboard. The guy wanted to keep his engine complete as a 455. They dropped an LS whatever number in there, built it up, supercharged it, put like $130,000 in it, and the guy says, I don't want it. That's not what I wanted. So they ended up buying the car back from the guy. They lost money. It was on TV. They showed it.
Wow.
Really?
You know what? I'm going to make it look good for my customer, and I'm going to do this and this. They never honored what the guy wanted to do to the car.
Yeah.
So they ate it.
They ate it.
They're
Wow.
trying to
At the very end,
outthink
they
and
ate
think, I know better than my customer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to do your car review on the other side of the hour,
Okay.
bottom of the hour.
Did I take too long? Did I go long?
No, we were late.
We got plenty of time coming
All
up.
right. We got time. Oh, you know what? We got time, and I'm hungry. I'm getting hungry.
Time is
Right?
on my side.
Speaking of which, and I don't know who's going to show up here, but we're having a big
Generally
lunch.
the police after the show.
Yeah, well, there's that. They're waiting outside for us. But, George Skelton has been a friend of mine since grade school. And George has been a friend of the show for a long time now. And for the past few Christmases, he always sends us a really nice beef brisket kind of tenderloin is what it is from Perini Ranch. And it's so nice of him. We always wind up. What?
No, he was just.
I
go
was.
ahead.
He's not paying attention.
Yes, I am. We're talking about how good George has been to us.
Yeah. And so all I can say is thank you, George. George and his wife, Twyla, have sent this to us, and today's the day we're going to have the George
Today's the
Skelton
day.
lunch. George has not been feeling well lately, and his wife has undergone surgery, and our thoughts and prayers are with them. And I understand that George is still recovering and doing well, from what I understand, from what I read. I haven't talked to him in a while, but maybe perhaps next weekend we can put him on the show and have a chat with him. Tell him how much we enjoy the Perini Ranch tenderloins. They're in there. They came via FedEx with a big ice pack in them. And they were frozen, and been unthawing them here for the past 2 days. So we're going to have us a big to-do right after the show is over with today. Yeah, and we'll post some pics and stuff like that on Facebook.
Yep. Getting hungry.
Yeah, me too.
I hadn't eaten since yesterday, so.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Something tells me you had some chips and salsa last night along with those margaritas.
I did.
Hey, today's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is sponsored by Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex, Gulf Coast Auto Shield, and Pro-Am Auto Accessories. We'll continue the show right after this quick break.
The holidays are upon us, and Pro-Am Auto Accessories is your local one-stop for the auto enthusiast on your gift list. Pro-Am Auto has been serving Houston since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am was one of the very first distributors in the U.S. for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier shopping corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse and showroom with installation and service bays. Pro-Am reaches a worldwide audience through ProAmAuto.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. Holiday gift giving is alive and well at Pro-Am Auto. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. The award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show brings you great guest interviews each week from manufacturers and suppliers to the aftermarket, racers, enthusiasts, and other friends just like you and me who love to talk about all things automotive. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show takes it to the road, too, with remotes at popular cruise-ins and shows. In-Wheel Time's live video and audio stream can be found on the Odyssey radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and InWheelTime.com every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. Or grab a podcast anytime from your favorite podcast provider. That's it for this podcast episode of the In-Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.